Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are, remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another post-game Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens lost an OT by a controversy called by the NHL. It could be the referees, it could be the linesmen, whatsoever. The final score 3-2 against the Chicago Blackhawks. During this video, I'm going to make it fun post-game. Usually I'm coming with the stat, the number, and I show to you it's fun happening. Today I want to give you what kind of player did a good game or a bad game for the Montreal Canadiens. So I'm going to evaluate about 5-6 fun players for the Montreal Canadiens, what they did during this game against the Chicago Blackhawks. So don't go nowhere. I'm going to give you everything you need to know about the Montreal Canadiens last 3-2 and OT in Chicago last night. But before we start, of course, we have to invite you. Don't forget to subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show. Please click on the likes if you enjoyed this video. And finally, tell me, give me your comments about that game for the Montreal Canadiens. It could be against the ref, or it could be about a performance for the Montreal Canadiens, good or bad, and what you expect for the rest of the season with the Montreal Canadiens. So let's dive in the boot of the Montreal Canadiens, and let's start right now. Here we go. Let's start. The first thing I want to talk about, last night it was all about Andrei Shaw. They want to mention his retirement with this year, a couple of months ago, as a hockey professional players. We know he played with the Chicago Blackhawks, but also he have a couple of great year with the Montreal Canadiens. Unfortunately, his health about a concussion many times make him to be retired now. But they celebrate number 65 yesterday. Great presentation about Andrei Shaw. So I just want to mention this to you. But first thing I want to talk about is, guys, the first thing is about this happened last night. What you talk about? Yes, this is the controversy goal happening in OT, scored by Kucherev after a mistake of Jeff Petry at the blue line. Mike Hoffman chasing Kucherev on breakaway. And finally, the Hoffman trip, maybe Kucherev, then he hit the net out, Montembeault back in the net, and then the puck, after Kucherev joined everybody in the net, the puck goes slightly, go inside the net. After a minute of waiting for this call, the referee called a good goal. But they said we have to wait now for an offside situation. If possible, they have an offside and the goal is not going to happen. I'm going to talk a little bit more at the end of this video what is about this goal. So the first of all I want to mention, guys, is the Montreal Canadiens, the number 27. I believe Ramanna, since he was scratched healthy in November, since that night, Ramanna, he became the Ramanna what the Montreal Canadiens fans and the team was expect. Ramanna is growing, improving all the time, game after game. And one thing I want to give you is you see another great check again about for the Chicago yesterday. And at that moment, after he hit this guy, Carpenter jumped on Ramanna to fight him, and he got a 2 minute, a 5 minute, and a 10 minute. This is the third time this season Ramanna happened against Ramanna. One time against Tampa Bay Lightning after he hit Cirelli, Bukashian jumped on him. It's also happening earlier in the season again at San Jose Sharks, where Ramanna hit a player and then another one jumped on him to fight him again. That gives you what Ramanna is doing right now. Is getting better and better on fan aspect of the game also. What do you mean? He become the most player play on PK right now since November for the Montreal Canadiens. And he does a great job on PK. So now he become a special team for the Montreal Canadiens. And the staff of the Montreal have a great confidence about Ramanna. And we have to mention this what Ramanna does now for the Montreal Canadiens. After a game was not excited yesterday, obviously was boring. Both teams struggled since the beginning of the year. Ramanna hit, not a momentum, but completely, changed the way this game turned around after that, because at that moment, the Chicago got a penalty, and the Montreal take advantage of that penalty to score and take the lead 2-1. So a great performance of Ramanna. Now, what is this? Those stats. This is a provided by the Atlantic. Is a projection pace of the each player. So I just want to sharing with you, with you guys about each player we're going to talk about. The next one I want to talk about is Jeff Petry. Yes, Petry scored his first goal of the season last night to tie the game 1-1. Yes, Petry continues to make mistakes, unfortunately. Petry, it was his first goal and the last 54 game he played in NHL. This is the first goal since May 1st last year. So I give you just an idea where Petry struggled on the offensive side for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm really hard on Petry, but I believe I have some reason. Think about what's happening. First of all, the Chicago or the goal of Patrick Kane tied the game 2-2. He was in the penalty box. Oh, yeah, but it's happened a lot for player. Yes, but the reason he got a penalty box, he was in the penalty box because he did a mistake on the defensive side by the way he played the man-to-man on that one, and he tripping the guy because he did not move his feet. Let's move on to the third goal, the winning goal of this game. When you have a pass from the left side to the right side on the back door, where Petry got completely demystified by the Kusharev go around him, and Petry tried to play the puck and not play the man-to-man because his cross backwards was not appropriate. So again, Petry made that team on the another bad situation. Now, Hoffman have to come back at the end, but it was too late. So again, Jeff Petry, you can say he scored a goal, but it's not good enough for me. And Petry struggled since the beginning of season. And you can say, oh, but we have to go the positivity on that side. I understand that. But Petry, my friend, does not look good overall. The 34 years old for the Montreal Canadiens. The next player I want to talk about is Cole Garfield. Well, you want to talk about Cole Garfield. He did not score, right? But what I want to mention to you is they give him a new position on the power play. He play as a bomber. Usually he play on the top circle and the left side. But unfortunately, for some reason, he struggled on the one-timer. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the confidence. I don't know what it's about. But he does not make a great impact. And it used as a bumper, I see, and its friend, Cole Garfield yesterday, he tries 2-3 times. First of all, he should have puck over the net at one time on power play, but also on the power play, he should have puck, he retrieved the puck right away after that, passed the puck to Mike Hoffman, and Hoffman scored. It was the first goal on power play for the last 25 time for the Montreal Canadiens. The last goal was December 4th. Just give you an idea what that lethargy was. But again, I just want to mention to you, Garfield have a new position and of the power play unit as a bumper. So we'll see if he's going to stay there. But at some point, we expect Garfield produce more on the offensive side. For me, Garfield need to shoot the puck too much. You need to shoot the puck more. He's sometimes too generous. He tried to pass the puck too much. I think he should shoot the puck more often. Finally, the two other players I want to talk about. The next one is Mike Hoffman. Hoffman scored on power play yesterday. Hoffman scored his fifth only and of the season. I understand he got hurt, but he's on the pace right now to score only 18 goals to 20 goals this year. That's not good enough for him. Since the beginning, he played in NHL. He got a lot of goals, 30 season goal with Ottawa, have one with Florida Panthers, have a good season last season with the St. Louis Blues. But at that moment, this may be one of the worst for the last 10 years in NHL for Hoffman. We need his productivity. Is it a problem of him, or is it a problem of what Montreal are? Montreal have a 2.11 goal average per game this season. This is the worst in the NHL. But I see Montreal never had that kind of the offensive like other team, like they score at least 3 goals per game. They struggle to go to scoring. It's usually two-way they score goal usually. For me, it's a rebound in front of the net, right? The trashy goal, or they are on breakaway or on 2-on-1. They don't try to get the puck possession, move the puck more, and a great wrist shot of the Petry in the time, anything like that. I feel that system, we have something missing in Montreal for many years. They don't have that kind of the killer instinct of the scoring goal game after game. It's really hard in Montreal to get a goal, the players with 70 point, 80 point, 40 goals per year. It's not happening in Montreal. I don't know why we cannot have that kind of team. So it'll be interesting to follow up with Hoffman for the rest of the season. But again, he scored only his 5th of the year. You can see he right now below what his expectation or the team was expect when they signed him for 3 years at $4.5 million per year. And finally, the one I want to mention to you, the last one, is the new players for the Montreal Canadiens. They claim him the last couple of days from the Minnesota Wild. Rem Pitlick, the 24 years old, joined the team, played his first game yesterday with the Montreal Canadiens. He showed me a little bit speed. It remind me a lot of Jordan Will. What are you talking about? But Will is always struggled in NHL. Always play well in the American Hockey League, but he have a difficult time to keep his job and in NHL. Pitlick does the same thing with Minnesota Wild at the bottom of the 6th lineup. He did the same thing with Nashville. He's 24 years old, and for him, he need to create more offensive, and he have a great speed. I like what I saw from him yesterday. He can do every game. I don't know. He played, first of all, yesterday with Drouin and Dvorak. So he have a top 6 job yesterday. I don't know if it's really what he should be. But because the injury, he take advantage of without Gallagher to fully Anderson example. So it will be interesting to follow up with him. But I like his speed. I like his work ethic yesterday, working hard. He create cover, puck protection, everything like that. So we'll see how he can continue to do this. And I'm sure to keep him in the lineup, that'll be interesting for sure. So that'll be something to follow up. And finally, I want to mention the last players I did not mention yet is Ryan Polin. Polin, he become one player joined the team after he was back in Laval at the beginning of the season. Joined the team because of the injuries, everything like that. But like Romanov, I like the way Polin play now in NHL. I can see he have the consistency to stay in NHL if he continues doing what he's doing right now. First of all, yesterday, guy, 9-11 beat Jonathan Toews and face off. Toews is the number 5, the best center for face off, and he beat him 9 of the 11. So that's a great point about Polin yesterday. The second thing is 200 play on the ice for Ryan Polin. I like the way he's back checking, his position without puck, the way he read his play. I see a Polin with more improvement. I see a Polin get more maturity. I see a Polin since he stayed in Laval last season compared to this year. I see a player with more confidence. You're not going to consider him, only him by the point. But as the bottom 6 center, with the size he has, he could be a great asset for the Montreal Canadiens. So during those difficult times we have with the Montreal Canadiens, those years where we are at the bottom, sometimes we have to look about the youngest getting better and better. I think Ryan Polin, like Romanov, we have to mention is their play at that moment for the Montreal Canadiens. So we'll be interesting what Ryan's going to offer to us until the end of the season. But right now, I have to mention to you, Polin have a good game against the Chicago Blackhawks. And finally, I want to come back. What I said at the beginning of the night, the show, is this goal. Finally, after the Alou goal, because the player for the Montreal defensive player moved the net out, they have a controversy about maybe offside at the blue line. Yes, they have a controversy because I still believe they said they allowed the goal because he was in control of the puck at the blue line. And I'm not agree with that call because he was not in control. What are you talking about, coach, again? Here we go. of course, his skate is inside the blue line, inside the zone, all right? But you have a rule said, I believe it's 83.7 and it shows 63.7. If you are in control of the puck, you have no problem if you are inside the zone. My problem with this one, guys, he's not in control at that moment. He just received the pass from the under side, far side. Right now, the puck hit his blade of the stick. And then, because it's not like I cannot show the video, the puck moved a little bit forward in front of his blade of his stick, hockey stick. So he's not in control. And controlling is when you control the puck with a stick and glade, or you carry on the puck with yourself. He just got a pass, and the pass tips on his blade, on his hockey stick, and then he moved forward the puck. This is not, for me, controlling the puck. This is what I believe it is. Unfortunately, the NHL, again, make another mistake. This is not the first time happening, again, a Montreal Canadiens, but also where we don't know at the end of the day when they're reviewing everything. Yesterday, it took about 7 minutes to figure out you have a goal. And how can you finish a game that way? What makes sense for the fans to finish a game that way? Why not to see a natural goal to make this game at the end of the result of this game? Now they have to go controversy. Look about the game Nashville Predators, Colorado this week. They called too many men. Are you kidding me? I have too many men on the ice. So I'm frustrated about how the referee does their job this year and the NHL overall. For me, they have too many inconsistency for the referee on the ice, their call, and then also the reviewing goal from interference, no interference. This is good, but the next day it cannot be good. The skate inside the crease, the pushing for the defenseman, it's just not right what the NHL doing right now. What about the COVID-19 when Montreal have only 6 regular players, and then this week the Flyers play with only 3 players out of the lineup? What is the consistency, the Bill Daly about that one over there? That's all the questionable we need to think about the NHL at that moment during those difficult times. I understand as a Montreal fans we can be frustrated and disappointed about what's going on around the league at that moment. Guys, this little bit longer video, I want to give you another perception of my post game today. Comparatively, usually I give you the number and all this fun thing like that. Hopefully you enjoy it. But before we leave, we want to invite you, please subscribe to the show. Don't forget to like this video. Finally, tell me what you think about my video about the post game Montreal Canadiens last 3-2 and OT against the Chicago Blackhawks. But, of course, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, great day, everybody. I look forward for the next video with the hockey coach, Guru Coach FRENCHY for the Hockey National Show. Mes amis, sorti termine un autre vidéo de l'après-partie de Montréal Canadiens qui ont perdu encore une fois 3-2 en temps supplémentaire. Mais avant de vous quitter, j'aimerais bien que vous vous abonnez à la chaîne du Hockey National Show avec l'entraîneur Coach FRENCHY. Et finalement, dites-moi ce que vous pensez de la partie. Et si vous avez bien aimé la vidéo, s'il vous plaît, cliquez sur le petit pouce en haut. On se revoit plus tard avec une autre vidéo avec l'entraîneur Coach FRENCHY. Durant ce temps, je vous souhaite une très, très belle journée. Et on se revoit un peu plus tard. À la prochaine.